Welcome to the blackawakening.com. I'm your host, spiritual practitioner, 322 Peppy Black Sun. Today I got a special report coming out of Cleveland, Ohio. There's reports of over 1,000 children missing in Cleveland, Ohio. Just last month, over 45 children went missing. What exactly is happening in Cleveland, Ohio? Let's examine this.
Where there are some very concerning statistics that are scaring a lot of people out there. Officials say so far this year, 1,000 kids have been reported missing. Almost 50 kids have gone missing in Cleveland this month alone. And those numbers have some police officials saying, yes, it is that bad, while others are saying, yeah, but a lot of these are likely runaways who do get found. Take a quick listen.
My 33 years in law enforcement, this just seems like an unusually high number.
In summer months, a lot of kids get antsy. They have lack of supervision at home, and they want to be out with their friends and, go out into the streets and enjoy themselves in the summer.
And Shaquille Brewster joins us now. Shaquille, what is going on in Cleveland? If I was a parent there, I would be stressing like crazy seeing a headline like that.
Yeah, Gotti, I've been having conversations with officials in the greater Cleveland area, and they're saying there's not one particular factor here. There's a couple of different contributing factors to these numbers. One, you think September, this is the return to school, so that is playing a part in this. We know the warmer weather in the summer, that is also playing a part. The big thing and the big trends that you're seeing here is that the vast majority of these cases involve people who are leaving intentionally, kids who are running away, essentially, and officials there also say that the vast majority are found and returned to their parents. But I talked to the president of a group that provides support to families with missing kids, and I asked him about this trend, specifically that headline that you read, that 45 missing people in the greater Cleveland area just in the month of September. Listen to a little bit of what he told me.
We don't want to send out some scathing alarm that there's like a serial abductor out there, or things, or kids are just vanishing off the streets. It's safe to say that the vast majorities are in fact runaways, but that's still a concern because these children are young and they think that they know everything, but they don't.
He says one thing to be clear about here is that despite these kids leaving intentionally and running away, that then makes them susceptible to predators out there. So this is still a serious issue, he's saying, and one way to help solve it is by staying alert to those wanted posters or the missing posters that are out there and the pictures of these kids that are sent out when they go missing. But he's saying it's a lot of factors that play into this rise in missing kids in the greater Cleveland area, Gotti.
It was such a good reminder. And speaking of one of those kids, there are cases where kids have been missing for months. There's a 15-year-old, Keyshawn Williams, who's been missing for 3 months there. What is being done to find kids like him?
Yeah, and that's the exact kind of poster I was talking about. Keyshawn, he went missing after going to a house party back in June 17th. He was reported missing on June 20th. His family is renewing their fight to help recover him. Police are investigating this as a possible abduction, but as recently as just about a week ago, you saw his family canvassing the neighborhood, passing out that flyer to individuals, telling people to be alert to see if they see him anywhere. That's just one of the things that you're starting to see. And, in that conversation I had with the president of that missing persons group, he said that it's all about the public. This is not something that police and members of law enforcement can solve on their own. It's about people calling in, being alert, sending in those tips when they find people or when they think they might even suspect seeing a missing child. You see the page there, that's from the Ohio Attorney General's office. So take a look at that. There are a lot of missing kids and a lot of people who want to be reunited with their families.
Yeah, so sobering to see all those names listed there. Our thoughts are with Keyshawn's family. Hopefully he's home soon. Shaq Brewster, thanks so much.
You got it.
To Ohio now. This morning, 160 people are facing charges in Ohio accused of human trafficking. It's the latest in a series of law enforcement stings across the country. One just last week in Florida saw more than 200 arrests. Stephanie Haynes joins us live to tell us a little bit more about what we're learning about these suspects. And Stephanie, these suspects, it's chilling. They include educated, distinguished, high-ranking individuals. It's happening all around us for people in our everyday lives.
Marky, chilling indeed. I mean, these are teachers, these are coaches, nurses, retirees, people you and I would know in our communities, and it can really happen anywhere. And law enforcement say that this problem is so pervasive that even the most successful operations, like this one in Ohio or like one in Florida last week, doesn't even begin to put a dent in this problem. But it doesn't stop law enforcement from stepping up their game every single time to try to clamp down on human trafficking.
Your hands up.
This is one of 160 arrests made in Ohio over the past week in what law enforcement calls Operation Buyer's Remorse.
Hey! How's it going, man?
It's not just cops. Everybody that's in the fight, that's trying to help the survivors of human trafficking, is there on the ground, and every one of them is necessary.
In Polk County, Florida, more than 200 people were arrested last week in a similar undercover operation, including 35 who investigators say were living in the country illegally, and 2 alleged traffickers.
Sometimes we work an entire operation without being able to identify the human trafficker because the ladies are scared to death of them. So we think it's a big, big deal.
Former FBI agent and News Nation Law and Justice contributor Jennifer Coffendorfer says operations like this are becoming more and more frequent in order to try to clamp down on what she calls a crisis.
Now we are seeing the fruits of the labor of after COVID being over. These investigations are being brought into fruition now. I think because of the porous border situation, where you have even more vulnerable people that are going to be susceptible and being trafficked. Unfortunately, you're going to see even more of a rise in these types of cases.
And one thing Jennifer points out there is that so many of these human trafficking cases are getting that much more attention. So that means that they are getting more and more resources. And as you saw with Sheriff Brady in Florida there, that, there were all these people standing behind him. Half of those people, even more, are social services workers who help in these sting operations to work with these potential victims to make sure that they get the help that they need and don't fall back into that human trafficking pattern.
According to the Shelter for Abused Women and Children, the United States again ranked number 1 of the worst countries in the world for human trafficking. According to a recently released report by the State Department, the top 3 nations of origin for victims of human trafficking in 2018 were the United States, Mexico, and the Philippines. According to the National Missing Children's Day 2023, on this day, we remind that some 400,000 children go missing from the United States every year. And we take the opportunity to remind ourselves of the challenge before us and the depth of our collective commitment to the safety and welfare of America's youth. The Office of Justice Program Assistant Attorney General Amy L. Solomon. According to Forbes, in the transatlantic slave trade, the 15th to the 19th centuries, between 12 and 15 million men, women, and children were trafficked from Africa to the Western Hemisphere for the purpose of forced labor. This MAFA, meaning African Holocaust, was perpetrated by major European countries. In conclusion, family, human trafficking is among the world's fastest growing criminal enterprise and is estimated to be a $150 billion a year global industry. It is a form of modern day slavery that profits from the exploitation of our most vulnerable populations. So family, we must stay vigilant at all times. Watch over these children in the streets. And if you see something, say something to keep these children safe. Again, practice self-preservation. So I'm going to leave you in the manner in which I came, with a universal prayer. In the name of the universal creator of heaven and earth and everything in between, please bless my listeners, their families, their friends, and the true believers for when the day of reckoning takes place. For universal creator, you are all wise and all knowing, and unto you we all shall return. But until then, we give you the praise and glory that's due to you from this life and to the hereafter. In the name of the universal creator of heaven and earth and everything in between, in your name we pray that this shall be done. So again, family, practice self-preservation, be vigilant in these streets, and watch over your children. Also, family, get yourself a copy of the Black Universal Creators 100 Laws, Morals, and Precepts. The ebooks are available at theblackawaken.com. Also, ladies, check out Unapologetically Me Boutique for your fashion accessories at affordable prices. That's on umbllc.org. Again, family, like and share. Reach one, teach one. Peace, and take care.